This creepy top 10 list has scary videos that will weird you out because of how strange they are. So let the eeriness begin. Number 10. Terrifying moments were caught on security camera at a gas station in Fort Worth, Texas, when a random bolt of lightning sent 2-foot chunks of asphalt into the sky. It looks like an empty parking lot, but what makes this footage extra horrifying is what you can't see: an underground diesel tank, not to mention these gas pumps that were way too close. Scary stuff like this can take out an entire city block without warning. So the next time you're at the pump in the rain, be careful. A lot of strange things can happen out there. Number 9. Most people react with fear when they see a brightly colored arachnid that they cannot identify. A very small percentage, however, apparently wonder what the unknown creature would feel like. I did some research and found the creature he's petting is called a black and yellow argiope spider, which fortunately for him is not venomous despite its bright markings. However, they do have fangs and are known to protect themselves against humans, so this is exactly the type of spider that you would never want to pet, not to suggest that there's a type that you would. Perhaps the oddest comment of all is from someone who says they're glad they're not the only one who does this. It has tens of likes, which makes me wonder if there really is some sort of underground society of people who will poke random spiders as a weird hobby. Number 8. Some creepy things were caught on camera when a strange man weirdly walks up to a window and watches the woman inside, someone's daughter who is not much younger than he. This scary home footage was taken moments before he was confronted by an alarmed neighbor, at which point he launched into an explanation about coming over here because he was worried that his missing daughter might be staying at this house. Then he leaves. His words failed to convince the concerned neighbor, and police investigators are able to later verify that he was at the scene by pinpointing the GPS coordinates of his work vehicle to the same neighborhood where he was caught on video doing weird stuff. Maybe he has a reasonable explanation for all of this, but if these eerie allegations are true, then it's especially creepy how he was doing all of these strange things in broad daylight. I guess there is no time to be truly safe from this kind of scary stuff. Number 7. A woman drives out to investigate some scary noises on her property when she soon realizes the woods that she lives on are probably quite haunted.
Oh my God, no. That.
Scary loud screams are coming from the woods into her car. Still, the brave woman refuses to be chased off of her own land, so she challenges whatever's in the forest to reveal itself. That's when at least a dozen shrill screaming ghost EVPs are caught on camera coming from the spooky woods, and so the camera person runs away before whoever is making those haunted noises can be caught on camera. Number 6. A YouTuber named Komodo Theshka is exploring a series of connected cave tunnels in his home country of Russia when he comes across a small room that completely freaks him out. But not until later. On a large wooden table, he finds an eerie doll and a disembodied mannequin head that makes him feel really weird to stand next to. Someone left a bunch of unlit candles around these objects in a circle, so he sets up a camera and lights them without really thinking anything scary would happen. And then he leaves to see what other spooky cave things can be caught on video. He claims the creepy doll actually began moving on its own while he was exploring the rest of the cave. First, its arm at 40 seconds, then its whole body at 1 minute and 15 seconds. And right as the doll falls over on its own, an eerie ghost orb comes streaking out at 1 minute and 24 seconds. 10 minutes later, the cave explorer returns to find the doll on its side, which freaks him out so badly that he can barely grab his camera before backing out of there quickly. I don't know if he completed some sort of ceremony by lighting the candles or not, but something creepy is definitely going on with the toys in this haunted cave, a place that's too scary for him to ever return. Number 5. A YouTuber named Witness Greatness has been terrified by mysterious lights in the sky that leave him alarmed and afraid. He's in his car when he notices something strange passing overhead and changing directions multiple times. After traveling at a very high rate of speed, the light mysteriously disappears into the sky, only to return a short time later. Sometimes the light seems transfixed over this area above his house and does not move. The white light could be a drone, except one night he follows along a lake behind his house in the woods, and what he caught on camera is not a normal drone at all. The larger light soon breaks apart into two smaller lights, one white and one red, and together they hover above the trees. At 8 minutes and 50 seconds, the lights become more intense than they ever have before, growing so bright that they cut through the clouds from miles away. All of this weird stuff does not look like the average helicopter or drone, so what is this really a strange video of? Number 4. Would you be able to deal with this creepy creature sighting outside of your airplane window for hours? That's what Jace Larson had to sit face to face with as an unwanted passenger for the entire duration of his flight. You might be wondering why Jace Larson doesn't just close the panel over the window so he doesn't have to see it anymore. And I suppose that's an option, but the only thing worse than looking at this spider is not knowing where it went off to. It looks like it's probably a harmless daddy long-legged spider, and maybe you can confirm this in the comments, but that doesn't matter to anyone who has arachnophobia. And if there's one of them in the window, then there's probably hundreds more on board, maybe even a few crawling up your leg to give you a little scare. Number 3. A YouTube channel called Haunted Marysville, Montana posted a bizarre video of evidence of a paranormal entity known only as the Cowboy Ghost, a shadow figure who's been sighted over the years in a pub called Swede's Corner in the city of Drummond. According to the uploader, the co-owner of the Swede's Corner went down into the haunted basement to check on some scary noises and immediately felt watched. They snapped a photograph and in those moments caught on camera an eerie pair of boots that they could not see in real life. The boots are under a pair of jeans that just sort of mysteriously disappears at the torso. This could be set up, but if not, this is some weirdly scary stuff that I want no part of if I were down in that old haunted basement. Number 2. Alright, so here's a strange and mysterious video of some weird stuff that went on years ago that a lot of people still do not know about, and those who have cannot explain. It happened during an interview called All Things Digital, in which Mark Zuckerberg is talking about Facebook. He gets overheated during the interview and is asked repeatedly by the host to remove his hoodie, which he awkwardly refuses until finally agreeing to. Why he's acting like removing his hoodie is a big deal is already strange to begin with, but then things get downright bizarre when you analyze the weird stuff that's on the inside of his hoodie. I'm not a believer in weird internet theories, so you have to admit this is a really strange design that he's sporting at all times. There are 6 points that form a rather spooky shape when you connect them all together. There are also 6 lines, all that point to the center from 3 different directions. To be fair, this is probably people looking too hard into every little thing that a billionaire says and does. But to some, it's a sign that he's making the world more open and connected to some scary stuff that you and I absolutely want no part of. Number 1. This extremely bizarre video is scary enough to send chills down the spine of a YouTuber named Forest Fire, number 21. Who was alarmed by strange activity going on in the woods, and doubly scared after aiming the camera into the darkness. This scary footage is his experience of a harrowing forest encounter. Two voices come from the darkness. I'm not sure which is scarier, the frantic voice screaming for help and saying the name Vernon, or the quiet voice calmly asking, "Where are you?" almost mocking her. The uploader of this video was so scared by what they heard that they checked the news for the next 2 days to see if any missing persons reports were posted. When asked by people in the comments if they called police, Forest Fire, number 21, says they did not, and now people are wondering if a life could have been saved. It certainly does sound like something terrifying was happening in the forest. It was 2 in the morning and the cold of December. There was no reason for people to be running around screaming on private property. One is calling for help, and the other seems to hardly care. We could be listening to someone's last screams right now, reads one of the comments. What do you think is happening out in these woods? Probably some scary stuff, and definitely nothing good. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more of everything Billnose.